Haydn elder, Bulgarian. He passed to the Lord in 1862. From the notes of Father Panteleimon. A Russian hermit, Hieromonk Macarius, who lived in a cave in Kerasia and passed away in 1888, recounted the following. Hieromonk Father Arsenius, the forester of the Lavra, who before becoming a monk had served for 18 years as a captain of the Serdars, the Christian guards of Mount Athos, and for some years as a shepherd knew all the paths of the Athonite forests. Because of this, when he joined the Lavra, he was assigned the position of forester. Father Arsenius was perfectly suited for this role. While performing his obedience, he learned of a hermit secretly living in the Lavra's forests and happened to tell Father Macarius about him. This occurred as follows. Before Pascha of 1861, Father Arsenius came to Father Macarius and asked if he had anything for Pascha. When Father Macarius explained that he had nothing, Father Arsenius told him that during those days caiques, boats, would arrive at the Lavra from an island of the archipelagos bringing oil, cheese, eggs, and other goods, and he advised him to go and stock up. When Father Macarius replied that he had no money, Father Arsenius promised to pay for him with his own money. In short, he persuaded him to go with him. While they were walking, Father Macarius asked, "Since you have been a forester for so many years and were previously a serdar and a shepherd, you probably know some hermits who live in a secret." Father Arsenius hesitated. He did not want to reveal the secret, but he also didn't want to upset his elder friend. So he said, "If you take the sin of an oath upon yourself, I will tell you." Father Macarius promised, saying that when he will meet the secret elder, he would immediately say that it was his own fault. On the way from the Moldavian skid to the Lavra, the forester turned off the path halfway and led him through impossible places, explaining where the elder lived and how to find him. But he doubted that Father Macarius could descend into the chasm where the elder lived. While they were talking, they approached the very chasm. There was no way down. Sheer cliffs descended on three sides vertically, like a tomb. Father Arsenius said, "Here, if you can climb down, then go ahead. But when you reach the ledge, look to the right under the rock, and there you will find his dwelling." Father Macarius began his descent. Later he admitted that no matter how difficult it was to climb the cliffs of Mount Athos when gathering the unfading flowers, this was incomparably harder. At first his shoes hindered him, so he threw them down. Then even his cassock, which he couldn't maneuver in, he also discarded it. Finally he approached the bottom, and there on a rock he found his belongings. Standing on the flat ground and looking around, he noticed the elder's hut, with the elder sitting outside. When the elder saw someone approaching, he crossed himself, spat, and quickly retreated into his cell, locking himself inside. Having been warned by Father Arsenius that the hermit knew not only Greek, Bulgarian, and Russian, but also Turkish and French, Father Macarius approached to the cell, began praying, and knocked on the door. The hermit did not respond for a long time. Realizing that the hermit had mistaken him for a demon, Father Macarius began to assure him that he was a Christian and a monk too. "What do you want?" the hermit finally asked in pure Russian. I came to see you, replied Father Macarius. Who brought you here, God or the devil? God, answered Father Macarius. The hermit refused to receive him and implored the uninvited guest to leave, saying there was nothing for him there. Father Macarius kept insisting that he would die by the hermit's cell but would not leave. He had neither clothing nor bread with him. You are such a restless and stubborn man. I have never seen anyone like you, the hermit continued. Father Macarius kept begging him to open the door. Oh, I know who told you about me, the elder said. He is a worthless man. Don't blame him, Father. I am to blame. Leave this place, I beg you, leave. I won't leave. I will sit by your door until Pascha and die here. I won't leave without seeing you. Recite the Theotokos prayer, the elder finally said, and when Father Macarius finished, he opened the door and said, Well, what do you want from me? Bless me, Father, said Father Macarius, falling at the elder's feet. God bless you, the elder replied, and sitting on the threshold, invited Father Macarius to sit as well. About an hour passed in silence, and then the elder, rising, said, Go back where you come from. I wished, Father, to hear a word of benefit from you, pleaded Father Macarius. What word can I tell you? I am a sinful man and know nothing more. You see, I live like a snake, hiding from people in its hole. That's how I live in this den. Still, you know something, and perhaps it would benefit me if you spoke. Seeing the simplicity and persistence of Father Macarius, the elder asked, Where do you live? Who is your spiritual father? I live in a cave at Kerasia, and my spiritual father is Father Niphon and at Kafsokalivia. What is your handiwork? I make spoons. What kind? Plain ones and those with a blessing, with a carved blessing hand. Well, if you wish to listen to me, do not make spoons with the blessing. Why is that? They sell better in Rusikon and in the Sarai. That may be, but you shouldn't make them. I don't know, Father Macarius said thoughtfully. There is an experienced spiritual father in Rusik, Father Geronimos, and he accepts even those with a blessing. Oh, Geronimos, the elder remarked. He is an experienced spiritual father in managing his brotherhood, but he does not delve into discerning subtle matters, and that's why he doesn't see that such spoons should not be made. They may fall into the hands of unbelievers or heretics who could mock the image of the blessing. Even in an Orthodox family, a spoon is neither an icon nor a cross. It might be handed over to a child, used as a toy, and trampled along with idle things. Yet, on that spoon, there are two crosses, one represented by the blessing hand, and the other you carved to the depicted cuffs. Therefore, two crosses will be trampled upon, and that is a sin. Father Macarius promised from that moment not to make spoons with a blessing, but he still wanted to ask the elder something more, though he didn't know what or how to ask. Finally he inquired, Father, from what lineage are you? The elder answered evasively, I am from all lineages. Perhaps you're Russian? No, I am Bulgarian. How do you speak Russian so well? I lived in Morphono with a Russian elder, a Hieromonk. I also lived in the skit of St. Anna in Kafsokalivia and in Provata, in short. I've been to different places, and finally the Lord revealed this holy place to me, and I have lived here for 16 years. And how many years did you live in all those places? I believe for over 80 years. and since I have arrived on Athos, I have never left. And how old are you? 118 years old. What do you eat and where do you get clothing and everything else? I still have a brother in monasticism. We were tonsured by the same elder, who is an abbot on one of the islands, and he brings me everything I need coming by boat every 3 months. In conclusion, Father Macarius asked whether he would be allowed to visit him again. The elder replied that even if he decided to come, he would not be able to find him. With that, they parted. And indeed, when Father Macarius attempted to return to the elder after some time, he tore all his clothes on the thorny bushes and ruined his shoes, but he did not find the place. A year later, he again asked Father Arsenius, who had once led him there, to take him back to the site. Father Arsenius fulfilled his wish, and Father Macarius, facing the same difficulties, descended again to the elder's hut. But he did not find him alive. A fresh grave with a cross marked his passing, and it was likely his brother in monasticism, the abbot, who had buried him during his visit. Learning that he did not find the elder alive, Father Macarius went down to the sea, where a stream originating near the elder's hut flowed swiftly into the waters. The path from the hut to the sea was no difficult. At the stream's mouth stood a white cross, serving as a sign for the abbot arriving from the island. Besides the elder, Father Arsenius the forester also knew of 3 other hidden elders, but no matter how much he was urged, he would not disclose their whereabouts. Thus there were, and still are, such hidden elders known only to the most devoted among them. Here is one example. 5 years after the Turks departed, around 1835, the Serdars were hunting wild goats near Athos. One dawn, while traversing a narrow pass, they chanced upon a naked elder who had been outside the cave, barely visible from a distance. Astonished by the unusual encounter, they began a conversation. "Your blessings, Father. May God bless you. How are you?" "Thank the Lord," replied the elder, and then he asked, "How is the holy mountain faring?" "It is prospering after the pagan Turks." "What Turks?" the elder inquired. "What do you mean, what Turks?" "The ones who arrived on Athos as a result of the Greek uprising." "What uprising?" "Don't you know that we, as Orthodox, shed our blood for 10 years to overthrow the Turkish yoke?" "No, I did not know. There were 7 of us here. We do not go anywhere, and we were unaware of that." After saying, "Your blessings, Father," the Serdars went to their way. Later, when they arrived at the skeet of St. Anna, they recounted to everyone what they had seen. Then many fathers gathered and, forgetting their old age and infirmities, rose in their mantles and hurried off to search for the elder. Yet they did not find him there, nor the other 6 about whom he had spoken. It was said that these were the very hidden ascetics, numbering 7, who were receiving the Holy Communion by the hands of the renowned spiritual father, Father Christophoros, who lived in Yanakopulo.